Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to yet another exciting Minecraft episode on all things well-being oriented. This is Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and I am thrilled today to help people learn to become the boss of their brains. It is so simple, it's not so easy, right? Separating simple and easy. It's a straight protocol because what we practice, we inevitably get good at, right? And thoughts come first and feelings come second, and then behavior or action. So learning to practice thought control will lead to a much more happy and fulfilling existence and less drama. Bonus! So today I'd like to discuss focusing on the process because I think, especially in the States, and I love the United States, we're very outcome based. It's goals, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. And we're not saying that this isn't important. I'm not going to say don't set goals. In fact, I was having a chat with my Minecrafters yesterday in my class, as their mentor, saying I want to be very clear before we, continue with this discussion, that I'm not saying don't set goals. Setting goals is a good thing because it gives us, some idea of direction, though it's really best not to reside there. Set the goals, have the goals, be aware of the goals, and then focus on the process. And so this sort of came out of the beginnings of our discussion on the book The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker. And though this entire topic in today's discussion is not all about the book, if at much at all actually, but we were talking about, it started from the sort of formula that we have backwards, at least in the United States, which is that, once I'm successful, then I will be happy. Because it's really the reverse that's true. It's once I create and cultivate happiness that I will be successful. That's what's really happening. Because think about, whether it's getting that B, then getting that A, then getting straight A's, or getting the internship, then getting that job, then getting the promotion, then, the more money that comes with the promotion, then the next promotion, and then the partner, and then and we keep sort of, pulling that chocolate chip cookie back, get a little taste of the chocolate chip cookie, and then it moves back, and the finish line moves back, or the goalpost moves back. So by doing so, we're actually pushing happiness right over the cognitive horizon, which is what Sean Aker talks about. Because the brain loves patterns too, so the brain kind of learns to keep looking for what's next because we're conditioning the brain to look for what's next. And by doing so, we are robbing ourselves of our life minutes and therefore our happiness. Because happiness, in that sense, always looking for what's next, what's better, what's coming, it keeps pushing it farther and farther back. And so, in essence, we don't ever achieve happiness in that way. And really, kind of to me, that's like mental torture. Versus, instead of having this once I'm successful, I'll be happy, like it's this end of the road, ring the bell situation, which I think if we stop and think about it for just a millisecond, we know that isn't how it works. When we instead focus on the process of creating, and I'm a creative, so I love using the word, I love thinking about creating things. We focus on creating and cultivating this lifestyle of happiness, staying right in the present, and doing everything we can to kind of achieve this daily. The rest of it falls in place. Think about it. If you set a goal of, getting in or graduating college, maybe getting into grad school, starting a business, this career, getting a partner, or whatever. If we set the goal in the present moment of doing our best, our very, very best, no more, no less, but doing our best, the goals are going to take care of themselves. And we actually expend energy thinking about the future, which actually takes away from the effort in the present, which we're using to achieve the goal. So by thinking about the after effect, the end result actually it's like taking gas out of the tank. It just doesn't make any sense. When instead, if we're doing our best, not thinking about that, it just kind of happens and maybe even surpasses the goal that's set. And so, through these different episodes, we've talked about a lot of the things that when we focus on the process, are happening. Number one, of course, practicing mindfulness and being in the moment. That just goes hand in hand with what we're saying. We're basically talking about being mindful, only with the added benefit of this current present moment leading into the next present moment, which will be, in that place of surrounding whatever that goal is. By being in this moment, it sets that moment up to be even better. Gratitude, by practicing gratitude every single day. I am grateful for, using the words, got to use the words to make it happen. I am grateful for my family. I'm grateful for Dad's banana bread. I am grateful for this gorgeous weather in September, whatever. About 21 days is the average time for that habit to shift and stick. And we know that that's part of the recipe for sticking to and focusing on the process of creating a happiness lifestyle. Then, of course, the movement, the exercise piece. You don't have to be a gym rat, but sticking to that as well. And those are three of the biggies. Obviously, nutrition, blah, blah, blah. But really focusing on the creation of this lifestyle. Doesn't, and remember, we're not about perfection. Bad word. It's better to drop the F-bomb than drop that word. Progress, not perfection. So if we're more mindful today than we were yesterday, give yourself a pat on the back. More grateful today than we were yesterday, give yourself a pat on the back. More active today than we were yesterday, give yourself a pat on the back. And the other thing, there's one thing that stuck out with me yesterday when I showed my students this brief little snippet YouTube of the book. And Sean talks about as far as evaluating our own happiness levels, research based, that they have found, these researchers, Sean's research found that only about 10% of our external circumstances roll into our current happiness level. So think about that. That's whatever job you have, whatever business card you're carrying around, whatever college you're in or college you hope to be in, what promotion you just got, the partner you have, how many trips you've might be on, what your savings account says, whether you grew up with with one parent in the household or two, whether you're urban or rural, your birth order, blah, 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 all of it, and never mind all the curveballs that have happened to in your life, mental health stuff. 10% of it is on external circumstances only, which means 90% is all us. That means it is our choice. And so often when I say that, occasionally I get a student or two saying, well, I'm diagnosed with this, I'm diagnosed with that, it can't be my choice. Yes, it is. And the thing is, the deal is life isn't fair. I think we all know that. And some of us have extra things to deal with. I've given you the example of the track meet before. I won't go through the whole thing now because in case you listened to the episodes earlier. But basically, we're all running the same race, waiting for the gun to go off to do our best. And some of us underneath whatever color uniforms, right? Usually it's a bunch of teams together, all different colors. Whatever the color uniform, underneath it might be a 25-pound weight belt or even more. That's, anxiety, depression, ADHD, dyslexia, addiction, whatever. And the deal is, it's under there. No one else can see it. You're the only one who knows it's there, except for those people you've told, teammates maybe you've told. And the gun goes off, and we're all running the same race. Only some of us with the weight belts underneath our uniforms have to run that much harder, have to work that much harder at staying in the race and even in pushing ahead. It's just how it is. Because life isn't fair. And so it still is our choice. It comes down to it is our choice. 90% of it is our choice. I have to say, it was really cool. There was a lot of insight with my students yesterday. And we've only just started this conversation on this sort of reversal of what they believe to be true. And it was like Oprah, my very dear friend Oprah. We're good friends. She just isn't aware. She talks about the light bulb moments, frequently, and which, of course, as we mentioned, at least for me, I often am sort of gravitated to doing talks on what I kind of need to hear myself sometimes, even if it's just a refresher or it's new or whatever it is. And it's the light bulb moments are so cool because I'm sure you've all experienced this. You just get this wave of, it's just like the universe and your own spirit are just like in alignment because you're being fed this lesson that you kind of just need in that moment. Light bulb goes on and it just makes immediate sense. Or that same thing could have been said to you, umpteen times in the past. You didn't even hear it. It's like the wind blowing. You're not even noticing, right? And all of a sudden we need to hear it. And it's loud and clear, just crystal clear. And so that was happening with some of my students yesterday. Realizing, and granted, they're life stages. I have mostly first years. I have a handful of upperclassmen, but they're basically in the 18 to 22 range. And so, they're in the life stage of, kind of 1 foot in childhood, sort of, and 1 foot in adulthood, and still very influenced by their parents' opinions and expectations. Not saying that's a bad thing. They haven't really, they haven't really broken away from that fully yet. And so they were just nodding a lot and talking about, a lot of the expectations and the drill that's been sort of, encouraged all the way along, and well-meaning. We're not saying anybody's evil demons. As a parent of 5, I know myself, we're doing the best we can. And it's society, especially in the States. And I love the United States. I love my country. And we are gerbils on crack. A lot of times kids are overscheduled when they're little, and there's this big push to get into Yale by the time you're, 7. And it's just this push in SATs and push. And again, we're not saying don't have goals. I'm not saying that. Have the goals, but focus on the now and enjoying this moment, because none of us, there's no guarantees here. And as far as we know, this is not a dress rehearsal, and this moment matters too. Studying for the SATs is important, and this moment matters too. Striving for that promotion or trying to have a goal for getting, to live by somewhere else in 5 years. That's great. 5 years may not happen though, so it's important to focus on the now. And the other thing is, when we truly really let go of the outcome, you have to authentically believe you don't care. Because faking you don't care, the universe isn't faked out very easily, right? So you have to truthfully let go of the outcome and be okay with it, which is hard. We might have our sights set on the promotion. We're next in line. We've been there the longest, right? If we got the most seniority, it should be us. We've proved ourselves. We've demonstrated all this, and that. Just did a bang-up project, and CEO saw it, and it was great. So therefore, it's definitely got to be me. It can be really tough, really, really hard to let go of, that happening or not. And I'm not saying it isn't going to happen, but instead of just being fixated on it, rather than focus on just getting all the ducks in a row in the process, is very, very important. Whether it's a partner too, same thing. And I remember way back in the day when ferns covered the earth, and raptors were circling around, picking us up and eating us. I remember hearing people here and again, and just kind of on a search. My guy friends and my women friends both. Sometimes, just really, wanting that partner. And I'm not talking about hooking up, because it's like a little bit of a different. I mean, it's different. It's not different in some ways, but it is different. It has a different energy than a long-term thing where you kind of want to think about somebody, in a monogamous way for a long time kind of thing. And I remember back then, I didn't have a name for it. I definitely didn't see it as a future podcast or anything. Who knew? But I remember even then, the wisdom of a 19-year-old, which is not much, right? I remember even saying that to people, like, that isn't how it works. And I didn't have any kind of words for it, any wise language. I just kind of knew that's not how it works. When you're kind of in this mad, frantic spin to acquire a boy, because back then we said boyfriend or girlfriend, that's not what it happens. You might get somebody, but it's not going to be like this, probably not going to be this, I hesitate to say soulmate, but somebody super, meant to be, kind of deep, huge, meaningful kind of relationship. Probably not, because it's just not how it works. It's when we're not looking that happens. Just like people who already have jobs and they go out looking for a job, research has showed this like a gazillion times, are far more likely, it's a high percentage, they're far more likely to get the job when they already have one, when they don't have one. So when we don't have one, we're desperate. And we put that energy out there, like, I gotta have this job, and that's resistance, which is in the universe, and then we are less apt to get the job. Whereas the person who already has a job, even if they don't like the job they're in, and they're looking for a job that they've been much happier in, more freedom, more money, all that, they are still more likely to get that job than somebody who doesn't have one because they're desperate. Same thing with a partner. If somebody's feeling desperate for that love, oh no, my biological clock is ticking, blah, blah, blah. Tons of resistance is out there. Same thing with money. I decide, okay, I've been loafing around and floating, and now I got to get serious, and I really want to make money, lots of money now. Well, the thing is, the word want is equivalent to lack. So saying, I want a partner. I've been playing the field for all these years. I'm ready to settle down. I want a partner. Well, want means lack. So saying I want a partner means I lack a partner, and lack attracts more lack. So that isn't helpful. Same thing with money. I've been, traveling and doing this and doing that, and now I want to get serious. I'm ready to settle down with it all and get a 401k and make some money and start thinking about my future and say I want to make lots of money. Well, that's put the goal out there, but focus on not that. Focus on following your passion, being authentic, doing what's natural to you, because the money is a side effect of following our passion. Saying I want to make more money is saying I lack money, which means more lack is going to be sent to you. It's just how it works. Again, the same thing with the desperation for the partner. So when we say let go, we mean really, really letting go. You got to believe it, like in your hard drive, to not care what happens. It's also true on a whole different level with drama. And I've had to do this a little bit lately myself. You have to when we detach, step out of it, don't care about the outcome, because I am so anti-drama. I'm so not into drama. I'm also aware that, as Carl Jung would say, that which we persist will resist. So I want to step out kind of in a Zen way, not resisting, genuinely dismissing, detaching from the outcome in a way that's authentic. So I'm not digging in with fingernails, isn't my nature anyway. And I'm just not caring, just genuine. Not that you don't care about people, you care about people. You're just stepping out of the current. And that is shifting out of that outcome-based mentality, doing something for its own sake, pleasure, leisure, passion, for your job, for your well-being, all that stuff. And as far as the partner thing, authentically, just being your best authentic self, engaging with people because you're loving being in that conversation. And let it all just come together. And then with the money is a side effect of following your passion and being your most authentic self. It's all side effects of being your most authentic self and doing what's natural to you. So stay process-based, stay with the happiness, let go of the once I'm successful, I'll be happy idea, because it's all crap. Okay? Be your most authentic self. Do what's natural. The money, the partners, all of the rest will follow, I'm sure. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.